Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you about how to make a gold foil print. So here are some examples of prints that I've made. This one, hopefully you'll be able to see that, has got a little pink watercolour background and I think it's silver foil. Yes, silver foil. And here's another one. This one's like a blue-black background with silver foil as well. But that's what I mean when I talk about a gold foil print. It's print that has foil adhered to the top of it. Gold foil printing can be done using various methods. I use the hot toner foil method, which uses a laser printer and toner reactive foil. But there are other alternatives which I will talk with you about first. The first method is to use a sticky gold foil or a sticky gold vinyl such as this. And then what you do is you cut that into shape and then you stick it onto the print. Usually people use machines such as the Silhouette Cameo or the Cry Cut to cut them into shape because they produce lovely clean edges. Another method would be to use a glue stick or some glue specifically designed for the project. So something like this or this. And what you do with that is you actually paint it on with a paintbrush or the pen, and then you let it dry slightly and then you stick the foil to the top. It does produce quite inconsistent results, if I'm honest with you. Another method is to use the foil quill, which is used with a Silhouette Cameo machine. And this is an attachment you add to the Cameo, which uses hot foil and heats up the little end of it and then applies foil to your print. From what I've seen, it does produce quite patchy results. I haven't got one myself, but it's worth Googling if you're looking into getting something like that. Another product you can buy are toner sheets. I've not used these myself yet. I've literally just bought them, so I don't know if they work. Hopefully I'll do some sort of video on those. But from what I read is you can apply the foil to the toner sheets and then run them through a cutting machine and then apply to your print. So I will try those out next week, hopefully. A method I have used is to use gold leaf instead of gold foil. So if you're not familiar with gold leaf, I have to be very careful with this, it's very delicate. It looks like that. So this is not real gold, it's but it has a lovely colour anyway. Very delicate, and you use it with gold size. And what you do with that is you apply the gold size and you let it dry, wait until it's tacky, and then you apply the gold leaf and then leave that to dry. I usually allow 24 hours to dry. And I have something for you to show you. So it looks like this. It's to take it off, I usually use a brush and I just rub it off. Now this is supposed to be an abstract, it isn't meant to be writing or anything. And you can see it comes off. Then after you finish doing that, you just rub it down a little bit with a tissue to rub off the excess, and it looks quite cute, I think. It's not quite as shiny as foil, it doesn't give you the same sparkly effect, and I guess when you're wanting to foil text, it's a little bit more tricky because actually you have to paint the text on very carefully with the size, so it might not be a method that will work for you, but if you quite like painting, it might be worth looking into. Okay, so let's get back to the hot toner method of creating gold foil prints. When you're doing this, just make sure you buy the right foil in the first instance, because there are different types of foils and you want the toner reactive foil rather than the hot foil, because that's used by something like the quill. So if you use the wrong foil with a laser printer, you would just end up with a sheet of gold. It won't foil areas, it will foil the whole lot. Okay, so let's talk about how the toner foiling method works. Toner is made up of little particles of plastic, so when it's heated in a ink machine or a laminator, that plastic melts very slightly, and when the foil is on top of that, it attaches to the melted areas. The advantage that a ink machine has over a laminator is that you can actually adjust the amount of heat that is applied when you're putting the print through the ink or the laminator. So a laminator, you generally just have one heat setting, and with a ink it comes with 5 different heat settings, and I find it quite useful because if you have thicker paper then you would use a higher setting and you're more likely to get a perfect result. A question I get asked a lot is how to get a background on gold foil prints. So in my case, the way I do it is I use an inkjet printer to print the background first, and then I use my laser printer to print the areas that I want to foil, and then I foil the whole lot. The first thing I do is I design the print. I design the background and foreground together in one file in Photoshop, but I separate the layers out into a couple of different layers, one for the background and one for the foreground. The next thing that I do is print my background using my inkjet printer. Then I use my laser printer to print the areas I would like to foil. I use the manual tray because this allows slightly thicker paper. I have an OKI C301DN printer, which sadly has been discontinued now. The next step is to cut the foil to size and place it on your print. I use a transfer folder with my ink to keep everything in place. Next I feed the print through my ink. I use a ink because you can adjust the temperature and it's great if you want to use different thicknesses of paper. Many people do use laminators, and I believe the swordfish one is good if you're looking at a laminator specifically. Once it goes all the way through, I leave it for a minute or two just to cool down before peeling off the foil. The last step is to peel the foil off and check the results. So I hope you've enjoyed this video about gold foil printing. Please put any comments below if you'd like me to answer any, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it all helps. Thanks very much. Bye.